Oh, yes, sirree, Bob. Oh, yes, sirree, Bob. Yeah, all right. We are live on YouTube. How is everybody doing today? Excuse me. I'm still recovering from a minor cold. Had a little congestion. Not too terribly bad, but even a little congestion can clog the throat. And that's the majority of my business is opening up my big mouth, right? At least I'm honest that I have a big mouth, right? Oh, give me a second here. I got to tuck this wire so it doesn't make that tapping sound as bad. Missed one part, see? There we go. Hope you're having a great day. It is Valentine's Day, Monday, February 14th, 2022. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this down the road, this part may not make sense to you, but the majority of the stream will be evergreen content. So if you're here down the road watching this on the replay, you can skip through this part or you can just listen to it. It's up to you. You get to choose. Yeah, Queen, I didn't get a chance to see what that troll wrote. Was it something pretty nasty, Queen? I'm just curious. I saw a few people pop in the chat, but I didn't get a chance to look at it closely. I wanted to get the intro going. But hey, Queen, how are you? I know you just banned somebody even though you haven't commented yet. I know you're here. Welcome to the show. Hope your day is going well. Good evening, Eli, says Lewis Fuller. That was at about 3:57 p.m. About 20 minutes ago or so. Pacific time, that is. Lewis, if you're still here, good evening to you, or good afternoon if you're on the West Coast with me. I got to tell you, what a difference a day makes. It's a little chilly, even though the sun is out. It's a little chilly at the park today. And it's a little windy, and that's where this thing comes into play. This is a windscreen, in case people are wondering. If I didn't have this on right now, you would barely be able to hear me. And every now and then I'll mention what this thing is, because most people that are not YouTubers and don't understand what it takes to create good quality audio and video, will wonder, what the heck is that thing in his face? Well, it's a microphone with a windscreen, okay? They call it a dead cat, okay? So when you're outside and it's super, super windy, okay? If you don't have this on, your microphone will pick up all the wind noise and drown out your voice, right? What this does is underneath the dead cat material here, they call it dead cat. They don't kill a cat to actually create this. It's synthetically done, but it looks like cat fur. So they call it a dead cat, right? And underneath this dead cat, there's a thick piece of foam surrounding the dead cat internally. And it's primarily that foam that, cuts out the wind noise but lets your voice penetrate through. And then the dead cat material just helps a little bit more. Excuse me. Now, if you've ever watched the news, well, I'm sure everyone's watched the news. But whenever it's windy and rainy and you see reporters on scene, okay, you'll typically see, you won't see a dead cat, you'll typically see a thick piece of foam at the top of their microphone. That's basically a windscreen / pop filter. In addition to, that foam material being a windscreen, it's also a pop filter. So when you say P's like P and wind comes out, or, you get a big breath coming out of your mouth, these windscreens also act as pop filters. So your voice sounds more natural and you're not blowing air and having distorted sound. Like in my studio, I have a piece of foam over my microphone that's a, pop filter and a windscreen. But when you're inside, you don't have to worry about wind, right? So just kind of wanted to mention that here at the beginning of this show. Every so often I do that because people wonder, what's this thing in my face? Well, if you like how clear my audio is from these walks, compared to other YouTubers you may follow that do mobile live streams and, have a lot of distortion in their sound, this is the reason why my sound is good. I take pride in that. Anyway, it is Valentine's Day, and before we get to the topic here today, I'm going to talk a little bit about Valentine's Day, my thoughts about it, what it means to me, what it doesn't mean to me, and how I look at Valentine's Day, as a 48-year-old grown-ass man. And many of you out there, as you get older, start to realize that Valentine's Day is a Hallmark holiday. Now, if I remember the story correctly, I believe Valentine's Day was named after Saint Valentine, and February 14th was the birthday of Saint Valentine, so that's why it's called Valentine's Day, right? I believe that's the story. Anyone in the chat, or if you're watching on the replay in the comments section, feel free to correct me. I'm not going to look it up later. It's not that big of a deal, right? And so this day was created, in my opinion, at least initially, before the world became a very superficial place in the modern world. This day was created to, give couples, men and women that are either dating or married, a special day to further express their love for each other, right? But what's happened to Valentine's Day and other Hallmark holidays in the modern world? That's the fire truck. That was pretty loud. I don't know where it's going, but it sounded pretty close. All right. These Hallmark holidays like Valentine's Day are just another reason for retailers to jack up the price times 2 or times 3 of what products and services would typically cost on any other day, right? So, for example, if you want to buy your lady guys red roses today, it's going to cost you like 2 to 3 times the normal amount with fewer quantity. So, for example, I'm just going to use this for example purposes. I don't know the exact prices, but for example, typically you could get like 18 extra long stem roses. If you buy them like at Costco or somewhere, you can get them cheaper, but let's just say $30, $25 to $30 for extra long stem roses, right? For 18. On Valentine's Day, you'll only get 12 of those extra long stem roses, and you'll pay about $50 to $60 for them, right? Maybe more, right? And retailers, and suppliers take advantage of this day because they know, to many women out there, that if their man doesn't do something for them on Valentine's Day, such as get them flowers and take them out to an overpriced dinner, which dinners typically cost more on Valentine's Day, and you get less food for paying more money, right? The ladies know that, most ladies, I'm not saying all, but many ladies out there wouldn't be happy if their man didn't take them out for Valentine's Day and celebrate that day with them. Now, in my opinion, this is how I feel. I feel if you're dating somebody, if you're a man and you're dating a woman and you really love her and she really loves you, you don't need a special day to celebrate your love, right? I'm not saying that you shouldn't celebrate Valentine's Day or enjoy it. That's up to you, right? But a woman that's with you for the right reasons is not going to expect you to do anything different on Valentine's Day than any other given day. You know, all she's going to want is for you to show your love for her and appreciation and respect for her in the same ways you would on any given day, right? And that's all I'm saying is that, hey, if you want to take your lady out for Valentine's Day, guys, or your lady's pressuring you to take you out for to take her out for Valentine's Day, you need to think twice if you're with the right person, right? My lady and I are not seeing each other today. She's working. She works in retail management, like I've said before, right? And her schedule is different than most people's, you know, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5s, having nights and weekends off. Her schedule varies, right? She works any day of the week and can either work, you know, morning, afternoon, or a night shift, right? And because of that, you know, we're not seeing each other today, but we're going to see each other later this week. And we're going to celebrate Valentine's Day later this week. We're also going to get more bang for our buck. Also, the restaurants won't be as packed as they will be tonight, right? So is there anything wrong with celebrating Valentine's Day before or after the actual day? I would say if you want to do it right and you're with the right woman and she's not superficial and expects you to waste your money foolishly on this day, I would definitely wait until after Valentine's Day because that's when the prices drop, right? The day after, right? The day before, you're still going to be paying a lot of money for flowers, or the week before or 2 weeks before because it's leading up to Valentine's Day. But the day after, that's when everything gets clearanced, right? And it doesn't make you a cheap person to look at it this way. It actually makes you a smart person. And the right woman will understand that. I can hear the trolls now saying, Eli's too cheap to take his woman out on Valentine's Day. Actually, I'm not. But I'm not a big believer in these Hallmark holidays like I was when I was younger. Once I grew up and I figured out that it's all just a game to suck more out of my money dry, right? But with the right lady, you know, we can celebrate our own version of Valentine's Day on any given day. And I did text my lady earlier and I wished her a happy Valentine's Day. And she was thankful. It's more about the thought that counts, right? In the modern world, because everything's all monetary now, we've forgotten about the thought of it and made it all monetary, right? Isn't it the thought that counts that's most important? I'm waiting for some kids to pass on by here. Let me check out the chat here real quick while I'm here. Good evening or afternoon, where you're at. Thank you, Lewis. Good afternoon. Good evening to you as well, brother. Queen says, you don't know the whole real story of Valentine's Day. Queen, do you have your conspiracy theory spin on this, Queen? I'd love to hear it. Because it is what it is. It's a Hallmark holiday based off of a real saint, Saint Valentine, right? It's not really a holiday. No, I agree with you. It's not a legal holiday. It's not even a holiday. It's just a day. It's a day to extract a ton of money from guys' pocketbooks. Because the retailers know that most women believe in this and would be unhappy if their men didn't take them out on Valentine's Day for an expensive, overpriced dinner with half the portions they normally would get. And, you know, getting overpriced flowers, half the quantity of flowers for 2 to 3 times the price of the larger quantity, right? Hey, Sweet Pea 1985, Queen, she was here yesterday, so yeah, she's been here before. Hey, Eli, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm doing quite well. Thanks for asking, Sweet Pea 1985. I appreciate that. Queen, thank you for putting the topic in the chat. We will get to that in just a little bit here. But I wish each and every one of you a very happy and safe Valentine's Day, whether you believe in it or not. It's just, just a kind gesture. I'm a kind guy. And, if you have a special someone, if you're dating someone, or if you're married, just be good to each other, right? I was going to say be extra good to each other on this special day. But why not just be good to each other every day, right? That's the whole thing. Like we don't need a Valentine's Day or any special Hallmark holiday or even any regular holiday to be good to each other, right? If two people love each other, they're going to love each other, on any given day just because of the fact that they are into each other and love each other. That's about it, That's all that really matters. Today I'm going to be more so engaging the chat. So Sweet Pea, if you want to ask a lot of questions today, this is going to be a more engaging stream. I kind of set it up that way purposefully. I'm just, it's very, very interesting. There's been this kid that's been walking around with a backpack. And he's passed me up a few times. And so I let him pass, and then I pass, and then he pops out of nowhere, goes right in front of me. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm being trolled in real life or it's just by coincidence, but it is what it is, right? I'm really trying to avoid him. But he just walked right in front of me again. And I don't know if he's going to try to come at me again, or who knows, maybe some of these drama people know somebody out here and they're paying somebody to follow me and try to distract my stream. I don't think that's happening, but quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm prepared for anything and everything. If that kid pops up in front of me like a fourth or fifth time, like one more time, then something is up, right? I'll just go off the air and I'll ask him, dude, you keep following me, you keep running into me. Is there something going on? And I will turn off the camera so that way no content can be made off of it, right? I'm prepared for all this stuff, right? It's all good. I'm an experienced YouTuber now. I know how this shit works, right? I get to the chat when I turn the corner here. So that's that regarding Valentine's Day. Just be good to each other on any given day. If you really love each other, you don't need anything special to keep feeling that way about each other and to keep the fire burning. It's all that matters is how you feel about each other, independent of anything else. So that kid's now walking at the same path, on the same path I'm walking. And I'm going to slow down and just let him continue walking. Coach Eli's on high alert all the time. I got to tell you, nothing surprises me anymore at all. Nothing surprises me at all. Another thing, folks, I may be taking a little bit of time off. Maybe as soon as after this show ends. Nothing wrong. No, I'm not quitting. I'm not giving up. None of that stuff. Okay. I think I need to rest my voice because, I've been doing a lot of walking streams, long walking streams, and then streams from the studio and pre-recorded videos, and your voice goes hoarse after a while. And you got to give your vocal cords a rest, and I think it's about time I do that. So, I'm not saying this for sure, but if you don't get a stream or a pre-recorded video from me for the next few days, it's because I've decided to take a few days off to rest my voice, and that's about it. I mean, more than likely I'll probably come back and do at least a walking stream tomorrow. I'm going to do a walk regardless, but whether I broadcast it or not, I'm still debating. I'm going to do my regimen using some honey and some other things I do to take care of my throat, because that's a huge part of, my business, and in being a coach, me talking is everything, right? And when you're on YouTube, same thing, talking is everything. And your vocal cords, it's another part of your body you got to take care of. And as you get older, your body parts wear down quicker, right? So you got to take care of them, right? You've got to rest your entire body every so often, so you don't wear it out completely or wear any aspects of it out completely, right? So I'm going to come on over here. And see, the kids are following me again, and they're asking me about the YouTube. So we're going to keep ignoring them. And they can follow me wherever I go. It's all part of the job, right? I'm just cool, calm, and collective. I take one look at them and they just go the other way. That's fine. You want to be real life trolls? That's all good. I'm very self-aware of all this shit. If they come up to me again, I'm going to go off the air for a second and then give them a piece of my mind and then come back. That way, they don't get any notoriety and no one can make content off of me giving little kids a piece of my mind for harassing me at the park. But they're kids, right? They don't know any better, right? That's another element of these Walking with Purpose live streams, especially from high traffic areas like this park. You never know what's going to happen, right? Makes it more interesting. That's all good. Those kids back there, they started running towards me, and I turned around and I gave them a good hard look. So they were trying to sneak up on me, and I'm like, come on, guys. I was once young too. I'm not an idiot. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get attention, and these are. And the funny thing is, these are little guys. These are like, maybe they're 12 or 13 or 14 or whatever, right? Right? It's always the boys, right? It's the boys doing the stupid shit. The women never bug me ever, right? The little girls, they never say a thing, but the little guys are little shits. That's what they are. You know how I know that? I was a little shit growing up too. So I know their MO. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop off and read some of the chat here. Queen says, Sweet Pea says, hi Lewis Fuller. Queen says, it's the kids. Is it the kids again? Yep. Lewis says, I just shared your stream out. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate that. Anyone here from Lewis Fuller's group of people, welcome to the show. I would love to collaborate with you folks. If you folks have YouTube channels on Lewis's end or anyone else here, and you would like me to subscribe, please come back when this stream goes to a replay and make a comment in the comment section. And that way, later on tonight, I can go to your channel and I can subscribe to you, leave a comment, and maybe we can collaborate on some stuff down the road. So thank you for being here. I appreciate that. We have 17 in the box now. We had 18. Thank you, Lewis. I really appreciate that, my friend. I really do. Valentine's Day is very commercialized, just like Christmas. I agree, Sweet Pea 1985. She says, hi, Queen Helen Casey. Sweet Pea says, I've never understood women wanting flowers. They just die after a few days. Flowers are not bad to get your woman every now and then, but every day, no. I mean, I will get flowers at the very most once, maybe twice a year for a woman I'm dating. And it's not because she's not worth it. Like, I'd rather take her to dinner or get her something else that she could really use. Like my lady, I bought her a little gift last month. You know, it was this like $80 heat jacket from Amazon with a battery pack because she's a tiny little thing. And, you know, she works in a cold work environment and she freezes because she's got like hardly any fat on her. And I'm trying to fatten her up too. But in a good way, don't get me wrong, right? So I'd rather spend my money on stuff like that than, like you said, like than flowers that are going to die, right? But every now and then flowers are okay, you know, but not every day. Queen says, why not find their mother and tell her they are bothering you? Well, because that would disrupt my show, and it's not a big deal. That's how you handle these things, right? Yes, it is okay to take a break every once in a while, says Lewis. Thank you. Lewis says, okay, guys. Okay, see you guys later. Time to eat dinner. Sweet Pea says, it's always good to take a break. Have a great evening, Lewis, says Sweet Pea. Kids these days have no respect, says Sweet Pea. And Sweet Pea 1985 says, when it comes to Valentine's Day, modern women have it all wrong, in my opinion. I have some friends that are making their men their favorite food. Why not do that at least once a week? Buying flowers isn't a bad thing if you are buying them for a garden. That's true, Sweet Pea. See, now that's a great gift, something she can use and very practical. Yeah, exactly. When I was younger, I was too dumb to realize that. Maybe I wasn't too dumb, I just wasn't experienced. I actually like stuffed animals, but I'd rather have permission to buy something for my man. Well, my lady's kind of the same way. She's bought me a few things, too. And I had a hard time accepting it because, you know, I know that her financial situation is a little bit different than mine, and I just, you know, want to make sure she's okay, right? But no, I appreciate what she's purchased for me. And you're right, Sweet Pea 1985. I'll say this before I get to the topic. Years ago on my former channel, those of you that have been following me for a while probably remember this. It's not publicly available. I'm sure the trolls and haters have it somewhere. And I actually have a lot of my former streams on a channel that's called Coach Eli Classics, videos from my former channel, but all those videos are on private or unlisted. They're not publicly available. I have them there in case somebody uses my content from my former channel so I can copyright strike them. But there was a video I did when I was with my ex. And, you know, I kind of amped it up a little bit, you know, for the video, you know, being funny. But I also wanted to show how happy we were at that time. And it was Valentine's Day. I think it was Valentine's Day 2018. And instead of going out to dinner, I went to Safeway in my ladies' area. I spent about $100 and I bought a bunch of food because I wanted to have leftovers and stuff like that, right? And I was recording the whole thing and recorded segments from her place, her kitchen, recorded segments of me driving to the market and back. I even went into the market and I took some video of the guys that were buying flowers for the women, and I made a joke that I knew would trigger the MGTOW people and the Manosphere people and these trolls and haters that have been following me for a while. I zoomed in on the guys buying flowers, a bunch of them, and I said, look at all these simps in here, right? And if you don't know what a simp is, I'm sure you folks know what a simp is. It stands for sucker, idolizing, mediocre, and let's just say P because, you know, we want to be nice. We don't want to push the things here, right? I'm sure I could say the word, but it stands for sucker, idolizing, mediocre, lower region of a woman's body that every man enjoys entering. Let's put it that way, okay? So I was like, look at all these simps in here, right? And then I zoomed out, or I panned down to my cart where I had bought some flowers for my lady, right? So it was kind of like a hypocritical thing, but it was intentional, right? But the truth of the matter is there's nothing wrong, with getting your ladies flowers on Valentine's Day or on any given day every now and then. And, I'm not saying that she didn't deserve the flowers or my current lady doesn't deserve flowers, but it was kind of more so like to make the video a little more funny. Don't get me wrong, I cared about her when I was with her back then, and I care about the lady I'm with right now, but you get what I'm saying, right? And I knew it would kind of trigger, these people that were still harassing me back then, the same people that still do it today, right? And then went back to my girlfriend's house at that point. We cooked dinner, and then we actually invited her parents over for dinner and had a really good time. Yeah, I spent about $100-something, $110, $120, but we had food and leftovers for like over a week, right? And think of it this way. Had we gone out to dinner that night, that meal would have cost us about $150 and get, probably maybe like 1/4 of, what we got for the same amount of money by going to the supermarket, cooking, and eating at home, right? And it was a nice time with her and her parents, and yeah, it was great. So that's my advice on how to, handle Valentine's Day. And you don't even need Valentine's Day to do something nice like that for your lady, or your lady to do something nice for you. Just, pick a day that you folks are free and do something nice for each other. Now, you don't have to always do something extravagant or elaborate like that, because it does take time to cook up all that food and buy all those, ingredients and, buy all those food items, right? And you do it once in a great while. The other times you make things simple. You go hiking, you go walking, maybe you go out to, dinner during times where it's not overly priced. You take walks along the beach, and you do other stuff like that, right? You just balance your relationship out as best as possible, right? So anyway, hey, Sweet Gemini 2, hello again, Coach. Welcome to the show, Information Man Show. How you doing, bro? We've got a lot of people here today. This is really nice. It's great to see you folks here. Queen, can you do me a favor, Queen? Can you connect with Information Man Show on Facebook and add him to the group? I keep forgetting to do it, Queen. I've just been so swamped and I've had so many things to do. I'm sure you two can find each other on Facebook. And then, Queen, once you connect with him, just add him to the Coach Eli, private group behind the scenes. It will require admin approval. I'll have to approve it, but at least I'll be notified, then I'll approve him. I'd appreciate that. All right, folks, let's get to the topic here today. We're on lap number 2. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from windy Red Morton Park, windy and chilly Red Morton Park. But you can't tell because of the dead cat, right? Canceling out all the wind, right? This is episode number 225. 225. And the topic today is being yourself always plays out. Your online behavior affects real life. One more time. Being yourself always plays out. Just a second. Your online behavior affects real life. So I wanted to do this stream today. I was inspired to do this topic because I follow another phenomenal content creator / entrepreneur out here on YouTube by the name of Gary Vaynerchuk. He goes by Gary V. If you have not subscribed to Gary V's channels, he has a couple of them. He has the Gary V channel, GaryVee. And then if you search his name, he has some other like clips channels as well. I would subscribe to both of them. And he's just a very, very inspirational. All right, we should be back. Okie dokie, we should be back. Sorry, folks, I got cut off. I'm back now. I was talking about Gary V and how he uses more profanity in his videos and presentations than I do. And he doesn't care what people think about him, including potential buyers of his products, right? He runs a pretty big media company. And he's even mentioned there have been times where, there were companies that, were looking to use his services and spend, $25-30 million. And they didn't give him the business because of his profanity. And Gary's like, hey, fuck them. It's their loss, not mine, right? And that's a great attitude to have. That's not a shitty attitude to have, right? Because he's being himself. That's how he was born and raised. I believe Gary V is originally from New York, and I still think he lives around that area or New Jersey, right? Now, Queen, you're in New York. I'm sure when you walk down the street in New York, every second word you hear is the F-bomb, right? Queen, correct me if I'm wrong, right? So when you're in an environment where that's the norm and that's how people speak, right? That's who you are. That defines who you are. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you hate people or don't love yourself, right? It's just the way you express yourself. And that's why even out here on YouTube, people used to be afraid to swear, even occasionally, because they were fearing getting demonetized. And the YouTube ad-friendly guidelines state this: occasional profanity will not necessarily demonetize you. But context matters, right? So what really matters is not you swearing, it's the context of you swearing. Are you just expressing yourself in a positive way, or are you attacking somebody, right? There's a big difference there, right? Makes sense? Okay. Last night I did a stream from the studio. For some reason, my mobile streams very rarely get demonetized after the stream ends, right? But the majority of my in-studio streams, I could have the cleanest titles, right? Like my title last night was Dating Advice for Men and Women, Volume 9. I changed my dating stories videos, the title to Dating Advice for Men and Women, right? Dating Advice for Men and Women, Volume 9, right? Nice thumbnail, professional, all that, right? At the end of the stream, I go back to the back end. It says, limited or no ads. I got the yellow icon, right? So I submitted it for manual review. And throughout that video, I must have used about 10 F-bombs and 5 S-bombs, a shit bomb, whatever, right? Right? And the key is to not swear a lot at the beginning of the videos, right? Okay? Submitted it for manual review. A couple hours later, it was green. Earlier today, I get the email. Your video is suitable for all advertisers. Hey, Coach Eli, Elias Melas. Your video, then the title, blah, 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 is suitable for all advertisers. Congratulations, right? After manual review, blah, 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 right? So nothing wrong with swearing every now and then to express yourself, right? And that's what I respect about Gary V. Is that for him, yeah, he wants to make money. He wants to be successful. But he also wants to be true to himself. And one of the main reasons he says why he's successful, and I believe him, is because he's always been true to himself and he hasn't tried to be anything he's not just to make a buck, right? Now, how many people out here on YouTube, for example, are doing stupid things they don't really enjoy doing just to make money? I've talked about it before. I'll briefly say it again. The drama channels, right? especially men that run drama channels. I can understand women running drama channels because they're emotional beings, and women have always talked about drama stuff with their friends. That's just how women are to a certain extent, right? I'm not trying to be critical to you, Sweet P1985, or Sweet Gemini 2, I believe. I remember that's your name, right? But women are emotional beings, and they're more naturally going to talk about things that come off as drama, right? But when men do it, it's not masculine energy. So when you have a bunch of these guys coming out here on YouTube and creating drama channels, and acting, like a little female dog, right? Okay. Are they being true to themselves, or are they just doing whatever it takes to make a buck, right? Okay. And a lot of these people, I've talked to them before, and they're like, well, dude, I just do this on the stage, right? I'm a completely different person in real life. If we ever hung out in person, you would see I'm really cool and fun to hang around with. And I don't doubt that for a second, right? But honestly, the way that you represent yourself online, if you continuously do it for years and years and years, that actually becomes you, right? And that's how people perceive you to be, right? And so this is when I was saying in parentheses in the title, your online, behavior affects real life. This is how it affects it, right? What if you're a drama creator out here and you do stupid things and lots of people make content on you and put out, you saying racial slurs and attacking and harassing people, right? Dropping tons of F-bombs and S-bombs and all that, right? And what if all of a sudden one day YouTube disappeared and you had nowhere to run your drama shit shows and your income totally dissolved, right? Those videos would end up on other platforms. So maybe the example of YouTube being shut down would not be a good example because it's not going to get shut down. But what if your income dried up, right? And you tried something else on YouTube, couldn't make the same money, and now you have no choice but to put yourself back out into the actual workforce, right? And you go out there, you apply for a job, and guess what your employers do? The first thing they do is they do a Google search on you. Then a YouTube search, right? You might have a good resume, and you might be really good at what you do. But when they hear you dropping the N-bomb and the F-bomb and the S-bomb and attacking other people, and then on 5-hour-long streams and stuff like that, do you think they're going to hire someone like you? And if you have no other way of making money online and you need to get a job in the real world to make ends meet, and nobody's hiring you because of your... All right, we're back. All right, we should be back. I'm sorry, folks. We should be back. There were a lot of cars pulling out. There were a lot of people at the park today. Didn't expect this. And then people walking by, and then all of a sudden, I just saw my screen turn black, and that means I'm losing the signal, right? Anyway, it's probably going to happen a few more times because there apparently are a lot of people here. So my apologies for that. So like I said, if you're behaving a certain way online and doing certain things online that aren't the real you just so you can make money, right? If that all goes away and you try to go back into the corporate workforce or work for somebody else, and they look into you, and they will, your chances of getting that job or any other job are going to be slim to none. Or is going to be slim to none, right? And what are you going to do at that point? You're going to wish you had never done the stupid shit you did online that's affecting you and your livelihood at this point, right? Now, here's the thing. For me, I'm a self-employed entrepreneur. That I will never ever have to go back into the actual workforce because I'm not going to get into too much detail on it. I've done fairly well in the past. I've made some investments, and I got a future plan to get this coaching business going, right? So for me, yeah, I made some mistakes, and people can look me up, right? But it's not nearly as bad as some other people have made mistakes, right? And I took all that into consideration before I started doing, videos on YouTube, because, I already knew that, hey, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm never going back to the regular workforce. I don't need to. There are many ways I can make money as an entrepreneur. Even if I didn't want to do the coaching thing, there are many other ways that I can make money. And there are probably other ways I would have made a lot more money doing those things than what I'm doing now as a coach. So why am I doing the coaching thing? Because this is what I love to do. This is my purpose. I enjoy doing this. Other stuff, I'm not saying I wouldn't enjoy it, but I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much. And I wouldn't enjoy it as much. You got to love what you do, folks. You got to love what you do, right? And don't be something that you're not, just because it's paying your bills for right now. It's going to come back to bite you in the ass at some point down the road, right? When you least expect it, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass, right? And like I've always said, karma has no deadline, right? When you mess with the bull, what happens when you mess with the bull? Somebody tell me. It's been a while since I've said this. But what happens when you mess with the bull? Ladies, or any other guys that are still here, Queen, Sweet Pea, Sweet Gemini. Those are very feminine YouTube usernames. Well, they're women. At least I think they are. Yes, you ladies are women. You never know. You never know. It's all anonymous, right? It's all good. I get it, right? I totally get it, right? What happens when you mess with the bull? Nobody? Let me check out the chat when I get out of the sun here. Well, we've got 17 people here, and nobody's responding to what happens when you mess with the bull. Come on, you know what happens when you mess with the bull. Come on. I'm sure there are some sock accounts loaded up, ready to go and answer if you real folks that are here don't answer, right? Let's see. There's nothing wrong with leftovers are a great thing. It allows more together time and less cook them. You're right, Sweet Pea. Queen says eating at home is cheaper and even healthier too. What name do you go under? Says Queen Helen Casey to Information Man Show. Sweet Pea 1985 says, this Valentine's Day I did get what I wanted. I was allowed to buy my man a watch he's been wanting for a long time. It cost me about $500, but the look on his face was priceless. Well, it's a thought that counts. It's a lot of money. So you must really, really love that guy. That's a good amount of cash. Even out here in the Bay Area, that's a good amount of money anywhere. Holy smokes. I'm glad he liked it. Like, my man allowed me to buy him something. I understand you saying that because your man's probably a lot like me. He's probably a little old school like me. Probably has a modern side too, like I do. But it's like I feel really guilty when my woman buys me things. It's like I've always just felt it's the manly thing to do to take care of your lady, even though we're living in this modern world, right? Where women are independent and they can do everything on their own, right? But yeah, it is nice to get something from your lady every now and then, even monetarily, just because of the fact that women have been liberated. And it shows that those are well-balanced women that actually care about their man more than just, him being a provider and his money. So, mad respect to you regarding that, Sweet Pea 1985. That's a lot of respect on that. Information Man shows his facts. Let me see, what else was written there? Yes, it does. Unfortunately, people aren't always their real selves online. No, it's true. And a lot of these people, they do it because, it's like the WWE of YouTube, right? And drama is the quickest way to get attention and to build an audience because people will always tune into drama. Well, there's always going to be a group of people that tune into drama, right? Because there are more unhappy people in this world than happy, positive people, right? So it's a larger audience to target, and even to us good people, like us positive people, we still have emotions, and us positive people, which is what I'm trying to say, we can still get triggered. It's possible, right? But us positive people have learned to rise above getting triggered over stupid shit. So we've learned how to move past it, right? People are calling my name, right? And it's a big distraction, right? I just want to do my walk and, share my truth, right? And they're kids, and I get it. I totally understand it. They're little guys that are bored, right? Wait till you guys become 13, 14, 15, and 16, and you start liking girls, and you see how girls are nowadays, right? That'll occupy all their time trying to figure them out in this modern world, right? At least during my time growing up, women were still a little more submissive than dominant, right? But after my time, Gen X, the millennial men and women changed everything. Oh, man. So these dudes here that are either, Gen Zers after the millennials, the I generation, or if they're under 10, they're the alpha generation. Man, they've got a whole lot coming to them that is just going to drive them insane. These guys growing up nowadays have no idea what's coming. These guys are following me. I'm about to go off the air and give these guys a piece of my mind. All right, I'm going to go off the air for a second. All right, we should be back live. Queen, can you let me know, or can somebody let me know if I'm back live? Can you hear me okay? Let me know. It's real funny. So I went off the air and I turned around, and before I could even say anything, these guys start running away like scared little teeny tiny female dogs. Right? Like, you guys, you little shits, right? You have the balls to try to troll my show in real life, right? Scream at the top of your lungs. And they're kids, I get it, right? But these are kids that are like probably right at 13 or 14, right? And then I turn around, look at them, and they run like scaredy cats. And see, again, I wouldn't be surprised. All right, guys, I would appreciate if you stopped following me. I have a show to run. All right? If you guys don't stop following me, I'm going to call the police. All right? If you don't stop following me, I'm going to call the police. All right? Well, then just stop following me. All right? You guys saw that live. I will show you what I'll do to you if you don't stop following me. There you go. There's your content, other side. Who cares? You know what they said? They go, what are the cops going to do? They're going to scare the shit out of you. They won't arrest you. They won't do anything. Then they'll ask you, Where are your parents? You see, this is the problem with parenting nowadays. The parents of those kids let their kids go out there at the park and run around and act like jackasses, right? No discipline, right? This is where parenting has gone nowadays. They spoil their kids and they let their kids get away with everything. They don't learn any fucking manners, right? And those little kids, their MO is them trying to trigger me. And number one, they're not trying to trigger me, but they're distracting my show. But they've learned. Just like these, other trolls online that have learned the system. What are the cops gonna do, right? Probably nothing. But they're gonna but see, you're underage, you're kids, and they're gonna ask, where's your mother and father, right? And then when they hold you until you tell them where your mother and father are at, and then your mother and father have you delivered by Redwood City Police, at that point, maybe your parents will whoop your ass, like my dad did, to teach me some fucking manners, or teach you some fucking manners, right? I will say this, I have zero tolerance for drama and bullshit and stupid shit. I have zero tolerance for that. Whether it's at my place, whether it's out in public, whether it's on YouTube, I've got a zero tolerance for that crap. Stupid shit, man. Anyway, let's get back to the show. Yeah, these morons, these moron Dramasphere channels, Coach Eli, lashes out at kids at the park. Yeah, let's see how stupid they spin this shit, right? Way out of context, right? To get drama views, right? That's what they're going to do, right? And I could care less. Because I will continue to tune it out. Just like I said the other day. Tune it out. Do whatever you want to do. This is all part of the job, folks. This is all part of life nowadays. You're going to encounter people that are going to try to slow you down from what you're trying to accomplish, and you don't allow them to do that, right? As long as you know who you are and you're your real self. Those kids are not being themselves, right? They're bored, they're miserable, they're unhappy about something, right? And their parents are not raising them the right way. Or their parents are both working and having someone else raise them, right? This is what you're going to encounter in all aspects of life. You're just going to encounter people that are unhappy within themselves and miserable of all ages, even little kids, right? Adults, etc., right? And the last thing you want to do is let these people derail you, right? Never let anyone derail you and throw you off your game. I say that because it's happened to me many times in my life, online and offline, right? I'm not going to get into the details. I've talked about it before. I'm just saying it's happened to me, right? Because I let it get to me. Now, also partially because I had to learn what was actually happening before I can correct the issue, right? Out here on YouTube, I had to learn the YouTube ropes and why people do stupid shit, right? And when I finally realized they're just pretending and acting to make money and donations, I finally figured it out, got the hint. I started ignoring it, and now they got nothing, right? Now any content they make off of me is just the same old shit, different year, right? Or they try to dissect me talking about what they're actually doing, right? Now let's do a reaction video to Eli talking about what we do to him and why we do it, right? How engaging and entertaining is that going to be, right? So you have to, those kids are still following me. They got nothing better to do. I'm being led to believe that somebody may be paying these people. You see them? They're right back there, right? Those kids will not come up to my face and do anything. Because they're chicken shits, is what they are. They're chicken shits, right? That kid just threw a rock at me. That kid just tried to throw a rock at me and it skipped on right by, right? That kid is under 13 years old, right? What does that tell you about that kid? And the way he's being raised. Why do you think people turn out to be pathetic, drama-centric losers like most of the people that are out here on YouTube? Why do you think they turn out and do this kind of content? Because that's the way they were behaving as a little kid. You're seeing it in real time, folks. This is part of what I do here is you're seeing this shit in real time, right? That kid literally tried to throw a rock at me, right? And it skipped on right past me because he was literally a quarter mile down, right? He's probably trying to hit my phone and break my screen, right? What does that tell you about that little kid and his upbringing, right? That's where our future generation is heading, right? All right, we should be back. We should be back, folks. I got cut off again. Yeah, the tower is really bad today. I think there are a lot of people here. I keep getting cut off. I was going to say a second ago, if I see Redwood City Police in the lot on the other side, I'm going to let the cop know about those kids. I wasn't going to say anything, but now that they're throwing rocks at me, fuck it. What do you folks think about that in the chat, honestly, right? What do you folks think about that? And am I going to stop coming to do my shows here if I want to because of that? No. This is my fucking park too. Right? Eli, I can't add Information Man Show to the group. I don't even know if I did the invite. Well, Queen, just connect me with him. Send me his link to his Facebook, and I'll connect with him and add him later. You mess with the bull, you get the horn, says Queens. I hear you and see you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fake those kids out. I'm going to go halfway and then turn back around because they're expecting me to come on the other side. Little dude tried to throw a rock at me, right? You want to know something? I wish it would have hit me. Why? Because I would find out where his parents are. They got to be somewhere around here, right? Hunt them down and sue the shit out of them. That's what I do. I mean, folks, this is just ridiculous, right? This is what I do. You know, part of what I do is help people identify poor behavior and what's affecting them from having a better life, personally and professionally, right? And it all starts with how you're raised in your childhood, right? And again, you're just seeing it in real time. Smith Productions. Are you here for the first time? Those kids are crossing the line. Of course they are. Of course they're crossing the line. They crossed the line when they threw the rock. But hey, you know, they're probably going to get away with it because, number one, I don't have time to deal with it. I don't have time for bullshit. And number two, even if I told the cops would have to catch them and find their parents, right? Right? See, these kids are the next generation of trolls, right? These kids know exactly what they can and can't get away with. They know. They even said it. What are the cops going to do, right? What that's telling me is that they've encountered situations with cops before and the cops didn't do shit, right? So that further enables them to do their piss poor bullshit, right? Because no one's holding them accountable, including the cops, because they're kids, right? Their parents need to hold them accountable, right? Just like my parents held me accountable when I was a little kid. I was a little shit too, but I never took it to that level. I never threw rocks at people and stuff like that. I mean, that's literally trying to harm somebody, right? You're a little shit boy, and you're throwing rocks at people already. What's going to happen when you're 16? Are you going to take a gun and blow someone's head off just because you're bored? Is that what's going to happen? See, that's where it all starts, folks. That's what happens, and I don't know where that music is coming from. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's pretty loud. Oh, man. Like, I'm trying to get away from that thundering bass, and it's just insane. Let me see. Yeah, don't ban Gamer Babe. Gamer Babe's been here in the past. And she's fine. She's fine. Yeah, when they threw the rock, that was crossing the line. Of course it was. Of course it was. I'm going to go over here, and then I'm going to turn around the other way. I just put the Information Man show in the private group chat. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate that. It is the real Information Man show, right? Information Man show. If that is the real you that was just added to our private chat behind the scenes, can you please comment in the chat with your mod wrench, so that way we know it's you and not a troll trying to infiltrate the group. Yes, it's him, says Queen. Okay. So Queen had probably asked for an admin approval. All I have to do is approve him to come on in. When I get home, I'll do that, like later tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn around here. And I'm not going to go the other way because those dudes are waiting for me to come around, right? And their parents are probably somewhere in that surrounding area. So, you know, I'm just going to avoid them, right? Ignore, right? Give me a second here, folks. Being yourself always plays out, right? So just be yourself. Those kids are not being themselves. Why? Because they're unhappy about something, right? Or they're learning bad habits from their parents, right? Why are they doing stupid things like throwing rocks at a guy that's just trying to create videos, right? And walking around the park. Why? Because they're miserable about some aspect, go ahead, some aspect of their life, right? They're bored and they're unhappy about some aspect of their life, right? A lot of it has to do with how their parents are raising them, or what their parents do to spend time with them, right? This is 100% poor parenting. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. It's 100% poor parenting is what it is. It's shitty parenting, right? Being yourself, your real true self, always plays out in the way it's supposed to play out. That's what this means. And I was trying to mention earlier, I can't remember how far I got into it, but I was inspired to do this topic by watching a Gary V video, Gary Vaynerchuk. Very successful entrepreneur that's ridden the wave of social media since its inception, probably almost 20 years ago, right? It's a great, great topic, because when you are yourself, no matter what you do, and you're your real self, okay? If something you're doing doesn't pan out and you have to pivot to do something else, people have gotten to know the real you and more than likely will support your new venture, right? Let me give you an example on the flip side. Like, this continues to be the best example, right? If you're these drama-centric YouTubers, even if in real life they're technically good people and they don't do this shit in real life, right? But they attack people online to create cringy entertainment content for donations and super chats and all that, right? Sponsorships and all that, right? Like I mentioned earlier, if this didn't make them the money anymore, do you feel that these people would be able to pivot that drama audience to a non-drama centric business? No, right? So why would these people that are supporting these drama people not support them in the non-drama venture? Why? Because the people that are creating the drama content are not being themselves, right? When you're yourself, when you are your genuine, authentic self, no matter what you do, and you build an audience of people that have gotten to know, like, and trust who you are as a person, as long as you're a good person and you don't take advantage of people, and you're easy to get along with, and like I said, very trustworthy, people will follow you wherever you go and support you no matter what you do. You tell me what you think in the chat. Does that make sense to you folks? Have you ever heard it presented that way? Okay. At one point or another, every single one of us has probably tried to be something we're not. Okay? Like for me, and for most people, especially most young guys, at times when we're in our 20s, right? And we don't understand life as much as we do when we get older at that age, right? And, you know, we want to, you know, find a cute, hot girlfriend, right? So we pretend to be something that we're not. So we pretend to be something that we're not, or we maybe, you know, amplify certain aspects of life. I'm not going to specifically mention anything, but basically we pretend to be something we're not to attract the hot chick, right? So we get the hot chick, because we pretended to be something that we're not, right? Leading her to believe we're who we're pretending to be, right? What happens after 2 to 3 months or so, right? The real true colors of people always come out, right? And if you're seeing this woman and you're pretending to be something you're not to land her in the first place, to get her in the first place, right? Okay? In order to keep her around, you're going to have to continue, pretending to be who you really aren't forever. And that's impossible for anyone to do, because at some point you're going to, get feelings for her and get emotionally bonded and stuff like that. And then you're just going to feel like you have to say the truth, right? And to a certain extent, we've all, at one point or another, pretended to be something we're not because we wanted to get something that we knew we probably either couldn't get or take a lot more work to get, right? And what I'm trying to get people to realize in this modern world, I mean, or in any world, you should always just be yourself. And when you're yourself, sure, and you're not being a drama-centric person and you're just a normal, down-to-earth human being trying to market a business or get a message out, yes, it's going to take you longer to get that message out. It will, right? These people just blare their music on the way out, right? It's going to take you longer to get to where you want to get to, right? But if you stick to it, I'm really looking out for these kids because I don't want them to damage my iPhone. That's the last thing I want to do. I want to protect my phone. That's the most important thing, and I don't want to get hit in the head with a rock or anything. Be yourself, folks. Love yourself deep within. Be happy no matter what happens, right? I'm very happy right now. Yeah, did those kids kind of distract things a little bit? Sure. That's their purpose, to distract me, right? And, when you're live on the scene, there's really nothing you can do when they come up to you than address it, right? Or keep going off the air, right? The best thing to do is to ignore these people. And that's what I was doing, right? So let me just share this. Like these kids. All right. We should be back. Sorry, folks. We should be back. I really think the tower is overloaded. There are a lot of people. Whenever there are a lot of people here, I get cut off many times. I may have to just, I may just starting tomorrow, if I even do a stream tomorrow, if I don't take a few days off, I'm going to have to start going to different locations. It's just for many reasons here at the park. I mean, it's real simple, and I love to walk at the park, right? It's just, it's creating a lot of distractions. I mean, and here's the thing. When you get distracted, you handle it professionally. You don't get mad. You restart the phone, reset the connection, etc. As I was saying about these kids a second ago, before I got cut off, they're like YouTube trolls, except they're in real life. So they've been coming at me for days, right? And I kept ignoring them, right? Kept ignoring them, right? So what did they do? They wanted my attention so bad because they're so bored and miserable and don't love themselves, right? That they amped it up. They started coming closer. They started stalking me around the park, right? And I continued ignoring them, right? Then they came up to me and I told them, I said, look, you guys need to stop following me around or I'm going to call the cops. What are the cops going to do, right? And I just turned around and they ran like little female dogs. And then I kept on walking, right? I kept walking. Then they were following me. Then this one dude goes and tries to throw a rock at me from a quarter mile, maybe it was an eighth of a mile away, right? Tries to throw a rock at me, right? Why? Because I kept ignoring them, right? When you ignore stupid shit, it triggers people more, right? The reason why that kid threw a rock at me is because he was triggered because he couldn't trigger me, right? And the truth of the matter is, this holds true for adults and kids, right? They just threw shit at me again. I'm going to go and get these kids on camera, and I'm going to report them to the police. I can't say this for sure, but I would not be surprised if these kids looked up my trolls online and the people making content off me, and if these people paid these kids to come at me and make content. So see, here's the thing. If these drama shit disturbing creators make content off of this, then I can say, not 100%, but with like maybe 80% certainty that these kids have been enlisted. I'm almost thinking do you folks think I should call the cops on these kids? Do you think I should call the cops and just walk around and have them chase me and have the cops stop them? What would you do if you were me? They literally tried to throw like a toy at me, right? And they missed every time. They missed, right? Because they're too chicken to get close enough to nail me, right? Well, that's true. I wouldn't want to show them anyway, but I would go off the air, take a picture of them, and then actually, call the cops. All right, folks, I'm going to get on out of here because I want to leave before these kids find me where I'm at. I want to get out of here without them trying to fuck up my car or anything like that. So, folks, I may be back tomorrow. I may not. I may take a few days off. If I don't come back tomorrow, just understand I'm resting my voice. My streams in the future are probably not going to be from Red Morton Park. They're going to be from different locations where there are more respectful people. And, young kids aren't allowed to run around, and create issues, that could cause severe liability issues for their parents, right? At this point right now, if I saw who their parents were, I would call the police. I definitely would call the police. But, these kids are probably gone now, and they're probably not gonna come out again for the rest of the night. And we're not going to give them the opportunity to come at me again because we're just not going to come here for a while, right? And that's what you do. That's all you do, right? And don't let it get to you. Just move on. Don't forget to check the private chat. Nope, Queen, I won't. Got 22 people here. The drama people from the other side are tuning in to see this, right? Right? You just never know nowadays what's store-bought and paid for. And these kids call my name, so these kids probably did a YouTube search for me and found out about my trolls, and then they reached out to them, and then they probably were paid to come at me, right? I wouldn't be surprised, right? I wouldn't be surprised, right? But here's the thing. Like I've been saying, Queen and everyone else, they're all blocked. I've tuned my recommendations to not feed into any of this. It's all part of the game of being a YouTuber, a positive YouTuber, and I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to ignore any content they make. And I suggest you do too, right? They're going to make content off of this because that's what they do. They're probably involved, right? And if they're not, hey, no big deal. But I'm going to get out of here, folks. With that being said, have yourselves a great night. Thank you to Queen for being here. And thank you to all the ladies that were here and all the guys that were here. Too many to mention. Have yourselves a great night. I'll catch you all next time. And as always, be good to each other. Good night.